Bianca, and I have a channel here on YouTube called It's Binky B. I'm here today to talk to you guys about Vlog for Jobs, and when I got approached to talk to you guys about this, I was so excited because I actually got my very last job, the job that I'm working at the moment, I got this job through a video CV. And that is what Vlog for Jobs is all about, so I'm gonna tell you guys about it, and I'm gonna tell you why you should jump in on the bandwagon. Now, I have had a paper CV since I was about 16 years old. In school, they taught us how to write one, what to put in one, how to structure it, etc, etc, etc. And when applying for a job, the norm is that you send in a CV and a cover letter. One problem that I've always had with paper CVs is that I really struggle to put my entire person and everything that I am into 1 to 2 pages of A4. I feel like when you try to cram all your academic and your professional experience into that, it doesn't leave much room for your personality. And I'm studying advertising in university, so I am a very creative person, and I never felt like paper CVs were enough for me. Your CV is meant to make you stand out amongst hundreds of other CVs, and I just never felt like a paper CV did that for me. So what is Vlog for Jobs, Bianca? You're just rambling now, like tell me about it. Vlog for Jobs is a platform on which you can upload your video CV and any other document that you feel represents you as a person. So that could be a piece of work that you've done, or literally anything else. It is not a platform for recruitment agencies, which I think is really important because it means you're just going to be showcased to direct employers, and I think that makes such a difference when you're looking for a specific kind of job. But now I hear you tell me, Bianca, how the heck am I meant to make a video CV? Well, that is why I'm here. I'm a YouTuber, and I've been making YouTube videos for longer than I care to admit, and that is why I have fancy equipment such as a DSLR, a ring light, a microphone, all those things. You don't need that. Let me say it louder for the people at the back. You do not need fancy or expensive equipment in order to make a video CV. So point number 1. Equipment. Yes, I have expensive equipment that I am using to make this video, but you do not need stuff like this to make your video. Because of the nature of what I do, I have all this equipment that I have accumulated over the years, but you do not need to be spending your money on expensive equipment in order to make a good video CV. Yes, the aesthetic of your video is important, but it's not as important as the things that you say and the way in which you present yourself. For example, if you have a laptop with an inbuilt camera and microphone, that is all that you need. Alternatively, if you have a smartphone, just prop up your smartphone in front of any source of natural daylight and you are good to go. You can ask anyone that's been in the YouTube community for a few years and we will all tell you that we all started on webcams, and back in the day they were not as good as they are today. When filming a video, let me be completely clear, lighting is the most important part of it. And you don't need an expensive ring light or softboxes to make that happen. If you have good lighting in your room, if you have a big window somewhere in your house, sit in front of that and use the natural daylight. The only reason I have a ring light is because I don't get very good natural daylight in here, but if I did, I wouldn't even bother with artificial lighting because natural daylight is so much more flattering, I promise. Another good tip I have for you is to be really aware of your surroundings. You don't want loud noises in the background because let me tell you, that will take away the focus from everything you're saying. If you live with anyone, let them know that you need them to be quiet for a little bit while you film your video. If it's noisy out on the street, I struggle with this so much, close your windows and get rid of the noise as much as you possibly can. Every time I film a video, I have to switch off my fridge because otherwise you can hear it in the background and it is so distracting. So the 2 most important things, at least in my opinion, are to find an area of your home with good natural daylight and make sure that it is as quiet as you can possibly get it. In terms of editing your video, you don't have to go above and beyond. A couple of jump cuts are enough to cut out the silent bits in which you may or stumble upon your words. I personally use Final Cut Pro 10 to edit my videos, but you don't need expensive editing software. If you're on Mac, iMovie is free, it comes with your laptop, and it does the job. I edited on iMovie for years before I even thought about getting Final Cut Pro 10. There's also a lot of really good basic tutorials on YouTube that you can watch if you're struggling with the editing. Honestly, you will be fine. Now here's a list of good reasons why I really stand behind video CVs as opposed to paper CVs. Reason number 1 is that I feel like video is a lot more engaging than any piece of paper could be. If I try to put myself in an employer's shoes, I think I would be a lot more captivated by a video submission than I would just by a paper CV. I think sometimes it can be really difficult to put across who you are on a piece of paper, and video completely takes that out of the equation. First impressions are really important, and I think that's why a lot of us are scared scared of interviews. Like, I'm a pretty confident person, but I struggle so hard with face-to-face interviews. I think there's something really unnerving about being put on the spot and answering questions, particularly when it's someone that you're trying to impress. Making a video CV helped me so much in that sense. In my last interview, I wasn't nervous at all because that first impression had already been had. Because they watched my video, they already knew what I looked like, they knew what I sounded like, they knew what my energy was like, and it took so much pressure off me. I was able to actually enjoy the conversation that I had with my new manager, and I really enjoyed the process as opposed to just be sat there a nervous wreck trying to not make inappropriate jokes, which is something that I do when I'm nervous, and it doesn't always go down very well, and I have butchered many an interview because of that. It made me feel a lot better to know that this person interviewing me already knew what I was like, and if they didn't like that, they wouldn't have invited me for an interview. I just felt like I couldn't really mess it up, and I think that confidence came across because I got the job. With video CVs, you can showcase the bits about yourself that you are most proud of. You can be as creative as you want, and there is no pressure about it because you can redo it. You can re-edit it as much as you want. You can do it in your own time. You can edit your video into whatever you think best represents you, and there is so much more freedom in that than in a paper CV. Make yourself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee if you fancy, and just be really casual about it. Talk about all the things that you want to talk about in your video. Take your time to edit it together into whatever you want it to be, and then send it off for a future employer to consider. Not to mention, I think you'll agree with me, this here is a lot more fun than sitting down and writing 2 A4 pages of block text. Because I'm a YouTuber, I think it just makes sense for me to make video CVs because it showcases a part of who I am. YouTube is my part-time job. It's been my part-time job for as long as I've been able to make it so. I work so hard on it, and I feel like video form is just a big part of who I am. When I'm applying for a job, I want said future employer to know exactly who I am and how confident I am and everything that I'm capable of in terms of my personality. You can talk about your academic achievements, you can talk about your personal achievements, you can talk about your work experience, you can talk about absolutely everything, but because it's you in front of a camera, whoever's watching that video is going to be able to tell what kind of a person you are, what kind of an energy you have. I think that's priceless. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Every single personality is valuable. We all have a personality that we should be using to our advantage and showcasing. And Vlog for Jobs just allows for that. And I think that's amazing. I'm jumping on this bandwagon and you should too. In the spirit of Vlog for Jobs, I'm going to be creating my own video CV to share with you guys, and I really urge for you to give it a go. Sit down in front of a camera, talk about yourself, plan it out, just see where it goes. Give it a shot. There is nothing to lose and everything to be gained from making yourself stand out from the crowd within the job market. If you're just as excited about this as I am, or if you have any questions whatsoever, please leave them in the comments down below. We're going to be doing our best to reply to every single one of you and help you out as best as we can. Check the description down below for more links and information about Vlog for Jobs in case you're interested. Make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.